I wasn't originally going to cover this situation, but it seems like a lot has happened since the original stuff occurred. And we have quite a bit of stuff to parse through. So, most of these uploads have been deleted. You guys obviously clicked the title. You saw the thumbnail. It's we're talking about Brad Taste in Music. This is not going to be like a typical standard internet allegation. These particular allegations are very serious. That of verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and just a whole bunch of other stuff that's like occurred that's just very not good. So someone I think hacked into basically how this whole thing started is I'll give a little backstory for people who are actually employed. So Brad Taste in Music is a YouTuber. About a year ago, I think he was in like some controversy because he took a picture with Ethan Klein. And that was pretty much it. Ethan Klein is pretty much seen as like the internet's villain. Kind of disproportionately so. You know, I have my criticisms of Ethan Klein, but I wouldn't really like... I don't know, like, Ethan Klein has a pretty normal take saying that, like, hey, Netanyahu's a fucking war criminal. His take on Israel-Palestine is actually pretty fucking normal, like, all things considered. Netanyahu's a war criminal, and he doesn't like what the Israeli government's doing, he doesn't like what the IDF's doing, but guess what? The people in Israel, the civilians of Israel, are fine. The civilians are fine, and that we don't need to wipe Israel off the map. That is a pretty normal take. That is, like, probably the most normal take you could have on the entire situation. But anyways, we're not here for Israel-Palestine. We're here for Brad Taste in Music. So, the order in which I'm going to show these is going to be a little bit strange. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show the leaked audio first, and then we're going to go in order of these uploads. So, there's a couple of reasons I'm doing this. We got, like, this upload here on YouTube. It's a re-upload of, like, the first music of him responding to the H3 drama. And then we've got this re-upload that's after, because most of these are deleted. Like, he posted these on his main channel, and then he just fucking deleted them. And then we've got, my statement, which is the, in response to the abuse stuff that's occurred. So, I know the order in which I'm going to do this is a little bit, the reason I'm doing it in this order specifically is because I've already heard the abuse audio. I've already heard everything, so this is not going to be like an actual live reaction. This is just going to be like, we're going to watch through it, and I'm going to give my take on it as we go through it. And yeah, like I said, these allegations, it's not like a standard internet allegation where someone comes forward on the internet with an allegation and it winds up just being a nothing burger, because that tends to be what most allegations are on the internet. But this is like one of the few times where it like actually gets leaked, and it's pretty fucking bad. Like, it's actually not good at all. So we're gonna listen to both of these. We're gonna do the incident and then what led up to this. So, trigger warning, verbal abuse, but I'm gonna play it in case you guys haven't heard it.
You are one of my abusers, so I can damn fucking right do that to you. I can kick you the fuck out of here for what the fuck you've done to me. You've destroyed me.
What? How? All I've ever wanted to do is support
Stop lying to me for once. Look at me in the eyes and stop lying to me. Stop being such a wimp.
All I've ever
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Look at me.
It's like the first 16 seconds of this audio, I was just like, holy fuck. Like, I knew this was not going to be like a typical internet allegation, because a lot of people tend to... There's a conversation we should have about like toxic and abusive relationships, but I want to have that conversation when we're done with this audio.
Accept what you have done to me. Do you see what I've become? You've killed me! You promised me everything! You lied to me!
What did I promise?
Look at me in the fucking eyes and say that again! Look at me! Tell me! Tell me! Tell me what the fuck you just said! Tell me!
I
Wow. I know I wasn't pausing a lot there, but it's just like listening to that. I've already listened to it, but just like listening to it again, it like never fails to just. It's not a pleasant audio to listen to. It really is. God. There are some people that really deserve capital punishment. That's all I'm gonna say. It's fucking. This is just disgusting. Alright, so apparently there's like an audio that like led up to this situation as well. I guess I'll play this audio for you guys in case you haven't heard it, and maybe I'll pause if I have anything to say. And if I don't pause, then it's probably because I'm very like, I guess just dealing with this audio and I'm processing the audio, we'll say.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
Literally, while I'm brushing my dogs, I'm just thinking, and you are asking me what I'm thinking about and not letting me not tell you. You are not letting me have privacy in my own. Like, that's literally what just happened. Like, I'm sitting here brushing my
Alright,
dogs.
Tina, I'm gonna fill up a bowl. You do whatever it is you usually do.
God, I'm
And we'll take it from there.
brushing my dogs,
Yep.
and you think that you are entitled to know what is happening in my brain, and you are
No,
not.
I'm just right and you're lying. But go on.
What am I lying about? Can you tell me if you're gonna give me a line? Can you tell me what I'm lying about?
Right.
What am I lying about?
What are you thinking about?
I'm lying about what I'm thinking about,
Yep.
and you know that how?
Because I just know. Because I've been with you for 5 years.
Because you just know that I'm lying about what I'm
I've been
thinking
with
about.
you for 5 years. That's an important detail.
You've been with me for
because
5
I've
years.
actually had to deal with your shit.
So you got to deal with my shit for 5 years, so you know exactly.
So they've been together for 5 years. Right. They've been together for 5 years, and he, how the fuck did this keep going for 5 years is what I want to... I guess... You know what I think? It probably is like a form of trauma bonding, where like you bond with someone and it winds up being super toxic. I don't want to use the word toxic because like this is abusive. Like this is just straight up abuse. It's not even a toxic relationship. And yes, there is a difference between toxic and abusive relationships, and I want to talk more about that as we go through this reaction. But this is like definitely like a form of abuse, like on Brad's part, 100%. And like I said, we'll watch the videos in a certain order, and hopefully it'll make sense the way we're doing it in the order that I'm showing it in.
Exactly what
I
I'm
know you're
thinking
gonna
about.
throw it onto me, no, but I've had to deal with your shit. And look at you, Nia, you're full of shit.
So okay, so I'm sorry. So
You're
you're
full
so
of
wait.
shit.
So you accuse me of lying. What am I lying about? You still haven't like outright said what I'm lying about. You're gonna call me a liar. Then
How about you tell me, Tina? There's so
so
much.
so what I'm gonna tell you is that I'm not lying about anything. I'm sitting
Let's
here.
start with telling me one
brushing-
thing you have lied about. What have you lied to me about, Tina?
What have I lied to you about?
Is this like a form of like delusion that like Brad is going through? Like, and obviously like an important piece of context to give during this is that like Brad has he's had a history of substance abuse, drug abuse. And he's very like manic, and so like I wonder if this is like a delusion he has that like his partner is like lying to him in some capacity. Definitely I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a form of trauma bonding that they had, but I guess we'll keep listening to it because I forgot some parts of this audio, so I want to like listen to it again. I already listened to it once, but I'll listen again.
So I can think of times where you have mistakenly lied.
Yeah.
I've said you've lied, and
How has she lied?
no matter what I've said, you wouldn't accept that you lied to me. So you're a
So-
liar and you can't accept it.
So if someone
Which is the worst combination
Well, if
I think
some-
I've
And he can't name the time that she's lied.
ever witnessed in a partner.
so if someone unknowingly says something that isn't true, where they don't know.
And they can't accept when somebody corrects them,
So-
then they're full of
no,
shit.
So it's
Jesus Christ.
And when somebody can't listen when their partner tells them and actually just deflects it and makes their life hell, then that's fucked up.
So
and
if-
then you're a terrible lying partner who's emotionally abusive.
So if you
Do
say-
That's... wow. Yeah, so this guy is probably... Like, I don't use this word lightly, and, like, listen, I'm no mental health expert, but he probably is, like, narcissistic to some capacity. Like, it really... This is insane. These audios are fucking unhinged. I'm getting, like, mad I'm Alex vibes from this.
I want to continue.
So if you say something to me, if I say something...
No, if you want to be combative, we can continue being combative, because clearly you are not paying enough attention to this conversation.
I'm just trying to understand. So if
How about you stop doing what you're doing with the dogs, look at me in the eyes, and just tell me the truth, Tina.
What's the truth about what?
You tell me.
Okay.
That he's delusional, clearly. He's, like, probably on drugs right now, or some drug, whatever he's on.
So, if
Without being a sarcastic bitch, look at me in the fucking eyes and
Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my god.
tell me the truth.
I have...
In the eyes, Tina!
accidentally lied to you before. Well, I have, like, mistakenly given you...
Tina.
Sorry. I have mistakenly given you incorrect information, and I don't... Mistakenly giving incorrect information is not lying, and I am certain...
So that's not...
She is right about that. Like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I must have given whatever bad information. Any normal partner would be like, oh, okay, that's fine, like, whatever. But, like... This went on for 5 years. I'm not trying to victim blame Tina here. I'm just, like, trying to think, like, how come this continued is my question. And like I said, this is not me, like, trying to victim blame Tina. Like, I'm actually just, like, wondering how come this continued on. Like, it's probably, like, a form of trauma bonding that she might have towards Brad. We might get more context later. Okay, yeah.
Not an example then. Try again. An example where you lied to me.
Really? He's not even like telling her like what she did potentially wrong. He's just saying, "Hey, you're a liar and you need to tell me that you're a liar." It's like it's really fucked up. It's very, very, very controlling behavior.
That I took the dogs out and I hadn't yet.
When?
I don't know, at some point I was like, yeah, I'm doing it right now, and then I didn't do it for another half an hour or something.
So you lied to me and you didn't even remember it. You don't even
A
remember
white
any
lie
details
about the dogs that I took care of.
So it meant nothing to you. Just a little white lie
I
about
don't
the
know.
dogs.
I'm saying I'm
You're
sure
just
that
what?
it's
You're so
happened.
used to throwing white lies at me, you don't even recognize this
No,
one?
that's
Jesus fucking Christ.
not true. I just don't.
God, there's so
This guy is very delusional. Like, I can just by the way he's talking to her and by the way he's, like, doing it, he's doing it in such a way where not only is he trying to control her, he might actually believe his own delusions. Well, I guess we'll never know for sure, but it's really, like, fucked up the way he's speaking to her.
many white lies, Tina.
And like I said, apparently they've been together for 5 years. So this could have been going on for a long time. I highly doubt this is the only time they've ever had, like, an altercation to this extent.
It's like, if they're all white lies, then none of them are, right?
I don't.
What?
Oh, what am I lying to you about? I don't know what you were telling me I'm lying to you about. What's happening in my own brain? That's not fair. It's my own brain. You're not entitled to know that. I'm an individual. If I don't have a safe place within my own head...
Okay, Tina, I'm your partner in 5 years, and if you don't respect me as an individual, then you can, honest to God, get the fuck out of my house.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God.
Both of our names are on the lease. So that's not going to happen. And also, you are not
I'm
entitled...
gonna call the police.
Yeah, call the police. Okay.
Yeah.
I will get you out of here.
Both.
I will make a story up. I will get you out of here,
Both.
Tina.
I will make a story up about you just to get you out of here. Jesus fucking Christ. This guy is unhinged. This guy is actually legitimately unhinged. This is fucking insane.
Our names are on the lease. So
This is actually fucking mental.
I'll be doing that. And
I will say my partner has been emotionally abusive, and I've asked her to leave many times. And despite the fact that I have no support system, she has refused to leave and has continued to emotionally abuse me.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I need her to get out for at least a day. I need space.
It's very, very common tactic for the abusers to make their partners seem like the abusers. That's like a very common tactic in abusive relationships.
And she refuses. Can you please escort my partner somewhere else so that I can have some mental peace? That's
Right.
what I'm going to tell him.
that's so...
I'm going to call him.
Okay.
You done?
Am I allowed
You fucking done.
Can I... actually, no. I'll give you peace if I'm allowed to be quiet. Am I allowed to be quiet? Or do I have to share what's going on in my brain?
Wow. So, now that you actually know that you need to be quiet, it's also my fault.
Can I be quiet?
Can you stop blaming me for shit?
There was not a single time in this entire conversation that she blamed him. Ever. There was not a single time where that happened.
Can I be quiet without you prying about what's going on?
Can you stop being a horrific partner?
Horrific partner. This guy did not get beat up enough as a kid, let me tell you. Holy fuck.
Can you look at me in the eyes? Can you treat me like a person? Can you treat me like someone who's at your level and not someone who you can manipulate?
I think the only one that's being manipulative here, Brad, is you. You're saying that, like, you're literally saying that you're threatening to make up a story to the police saying that she's emotionally abusive, when the only one that's being verbally and emotionally abusive here is you. You are being very fucking unhinged here. This is not normal.
You are evil.
I just want to have peace in my brain.
And you will destroy me. You will do anything.
I just want to be able to think quietly while I brush my dogs. I just want to be able to quietly reflect on my life while I brush my dogs without you asking what I'm thinking about and prying it out of me and thinking you're entitled to know what I'm thinking about. You're not.
I'm not even your partner, Tina.
I'm not even your partner.
You're not treating me like a partner.
You're looking around looking for excuses, Tina. I literally am watching your body
I
language.
can't look in your
You
eyes.
look like one of those freaks on the fucking interrogation videos.
I can't look in...
Oh my god. Oh my god. If I said what I wanted to do to this Brad Taste in Music guy, this video would probably get taken down if I said what I wanted to do to him. That's, yeah. So, fill in the blanks. I'm sure whatever you're thinking of is probably, like, true.
Every single thing you're doing is full of shit. You're literally acting like the fucking criminals there, Tina. Like, every action. I could record it. And it would be like, Tina's looking to the left while immediately, oh, he asks a question and her eyes are moving around as she's looking quickly for an answer.
I have trouble with eye
Because she has
contact.
oh, no, you don't,
Yes,
Tina.
I do.
You are a lying, manipulative person.
I have trouble.
And you need to get out of my house.
I have trouble with eye contact. I do.
I am going to call the cops if you don't stop lying to me, Tina. Right now. This is it. Are you done?
What am I lying about?
All right.
What am I lying about?
All right. Well, you gotta hide the weed.
But they're not gonna. We're both on the lease. That doesn't work.
Yeah, it does. I'm gonna say my partner is emotionally abusing me, and I've asked for space endlessly, and I have no support system. I moved out here for her, and I'm trapped, and I need...
That is very manipulative, by the way. He's making an exaggerated, practically false story, like, as an excuse, and he's threatening to do that if she doesn't leave the apartment. That's insane. That is fucking unhinged behavior.
Space. She has her mother's house. I need
My
help.
mom is not. You can't push me out of my own.
Okay. Yeah, so that's where the audio ends. That's all the Google Drive audios. So, before we go into the re-uploads, I know I'm showing this out of order, and there's a very specific reason I'm doing that. I'll explain it in a moment, and maybe I'll explain it as we watch the videos, but I do want to talk about toxic relationships and abusive relationships. So, abusive relationships are exactly that. You try to degrade your partner, you name call them, you actively engage in behavior that tries to control everything they do, every aspect of their life, in some of the most unhealthy ways possible. This is what abuse would look like. This is emotionally abusive. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to online allegations, the reason I say most of them wind up being nothing, and a big part of that is because a lot of people don't understand what terms mean on the internet. They don't understand it. They use terms as if they know what they're talking about, when I would say a large portion of people don't have any understanding of what the fuck they're saying online. So when they see a relationship from the outside, it's easy to say that if it looked bad, then that it was abusive, right? And they would be legitimate in thinking that. If it was this situation, specifically. But, like, toxic relationships are very different. It's a lot more of, like, two people going back and forth at each other. Listen, if you're a toxic person, your chances are... I said that wrong. If you have been in a toxic relationship, you're probably toxic yourself. I know there are outliers to that, of course, but, like, shit attracts shit at the end of the day. Like, if you're a toxic person, you're gonna attract other toxic people. That's just kind of how that works. And so, you know, listen, I wasn't perfect in my last relationship. Again, it's publicly available for people to look at. You know, it's on my old channel. Everything is there if you want to know more about it. But just to pretty much sum it up, like, again, my old relationship was, like, very, very toxic. And I would say I was a big contributor to that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, I definitely was a big contributor to it, right? That's definitely, doesn't make it okay, but the original accusations was that it was abusive. And the reason that fucking irritates the shit out of me is because it never got to this level. I never insulted my ex-partner. I never did anything that was, like... I never did anything that was like this, alright? And that's what really irritates the shit out of me, is that even though I was a bit of a contrarian and I was very fucking, like, probably unpleasant to be around at times, let's be real, I was probably very fucking unpleasant to be around. Like, abuse is very different from toxic relationships, and and it's very disgusting when people conflate the two, because then legitimate victims of abuse like this get silenced. And it makes it difficult for people like this to come forward, because all it takes is, like, 2 or 3 false allegations for you to be completely blackpilled and, like, not really give a fuck whenever, like, a legitimate, serious story like this happens. So I think it's just important to understand the difference between toxic and abusive relationships. Toxicity, it's a lot more, like, I don't want to say mutual. Mutual is not really the right word. It's more like both people are engaging in it, because if I say mutual, it sounds like it was like a consensually toxic. That's not really that's kind of what it sounds like, and I don't really want to make it sound like that. But abuse is a lot more one-sided. Abuse is like this. There's a lot of verbal abuse like this, physical abuse like hitting people. There's, like, a lot of, like, toxic relationships are very, very different. And I think it's just important, like, listen, I'm trying to be, like, less toxic, so whenever I get into, like, another relationship, I don't want to be, like, the same level of toxic I was previously. That's something I've had to work on a lot. I'm still, like, quite a toxic person. Even on this channel, I can be very toxic to people I really don't like. But, I don't, like, abuse is, like, very, like, gross. Toxicity can change. Abusers most likely don't change. And that's kind of, I would say, like, one of the main differences. It's just very, yeah, this is obviously very gross behavior from Brad Taste in Music, and this is pretty career-ending. This is pretty fucking damning, if I do say so myself. So now we're gonna watch the first video, which is called SI. I have this on 1.5 times speed. And this was pretty much Brad responding to the Ethan Klein drama, and apparently he brings up his ex-girlfriend Tina, that's her name here. The reason I'm showing it in this video is because, or in this order, is because originally I watched this video before hearing the audio leaks. And it made me a lot more charitable to this guy, because I didn't know the extent of the actual legitimate fucking abuse. And so the reason I'm showing it in this order is because now I want to watch this video under the interpretation with the abuse in context. So I guess technically this is an authentic reaction, just not in the normal way that we're used to.
So I want to try to explain to you guys what's going on through my head, because it's pretty interesting. I had to just go to my computer and hit record because I know I have to make this video. And not for the reason that you think I have to make this video, like I'm saving my reputation, but because if I don't make this video...
And when he says save his reputation, I'm pretty sure he's referring to the Ethan Klein stuff, not the actual abuse stuff, because the abuse stuff hadn't leaked at this point. So just keep that in mind. He's talking about the Ethan Klein shit.
I keep thinking about it. Like, for some reason, like 11 months ago when, like, everything went down with my channel, I've just been, like, contemplating the perfect video, you know, that'll fix it all. I'll just say the right words and everything will go back to normal. I have learned since then that that is not reality, and I don't want it to be reality. So basically, I'm here making this video really for the reason that like I want to get certain information across to people who care, and I don't really know a better way to do that.
Well, I certainly don't care about you, Brad. I think you're pretty sub-fucking human, all things considered, and I really don't have any fucking empathy for people like you. I may have, like, the first time I watched this video, but, now? Fuck no. Fuck no. Far from it.
You know, realistically, like, yes, I would love for this video to, like, make it so that, like, it's easy for me to just return, go back to normal, what I was doing before, But the reality is I could do that anyways. I'm in a good spot right now where artistically I'm confident enough in myself to where if I started making content, I believe that people would enjoy it enough to basically just assume on their own that I'm doing good. I really don't need a video telling them I'm doing good.
So why are you here then? Why are you even making this video? Why are you telling this, like, to us?
For them to understand it. Like, I could just go the sneaky underground, mysterious artist route that, like, honestly, I've seen everybody do. Everybody's doing it. But I decided no. So, despite how much I really...
You can, like, just by his, like, mannerisms, you can tell, like, with the understood context that he has, like, a history of drug abuse, and, like, with the understanding that he is, like, been the abuser in the fucking, relationship, that, he, like, clearly, like, he's in a very manic state, like, making these, like, videos. Like, he clearly is. This is definitely not the sign of someone who's mentally well at all.
Struggling? Let's talk. All right, let's start from the beginning of, like, where things went wrong. I went to a show. It was a live show in California. It was Ethan Klein and Hila Klein performing. I had backstage passes. I met them. I talked with them. I related a lot to them, especially Hila, with her struggles with being Jewish right now, and, like, how, like, it's... How do I say this? It's like, even now, like, I don't want to fucking talk about it. Like, I really don't, But...
Why not? I mean, like I said, like, yeah, obviously, like, we've had a rise in anti-Semitism. That's, like, ever since the Israel-Palestine conflict became, like, a lot more, like, mainstreamed, we'll say. Should I even say mainstream? I don't even know if it is, like, mainstreamed. It was mainly TikTok that was talking about it. So I don't think mainstreamed is the right word. But ever since, like, more awareness was raised to it, like, yes, it's a good thing that we need to be more aware of these conflicts going on in the Middle East, I agree. But also, the unfortunate side effect of that was that there's, like, a lot more anti-Semitism happening, especially after Trump got elected, too. We've just been seeing nonstop people just, like, be comfortable with just being openly anti-Semitic, saying all Israelis are terrible people and stuff, and dog whistling that Israelis are fucking terrible people, which is that is an anti-Semitic statement. I don't care, like, what you say. That is anti-Semitic. I'm sorry, it just is. Because when you say all Israelis, you're talking about the civilians as well. So, it's one thing to criticize Netanyahu for being a fucking war criminal. It's one thing to say that what the IDF is doing is fucking terrible in Palestine. Like, yes, it's one thing to say those things. It's a completely other thing to say that all Israelis are fucking subhuman and terrible people. That is anti-Semitic.
What I want you to understand is that, like, my horrible response to this whole situation is, a long-term thing, or like, is the result of a lot of stuff,
I know that's neither here nor there, though. I think it's just, like, worth bringing that up. I know I brought that up, but it's, shouldn't be the main topic of conversation, given that we're dealing with topics of abuse right now.
It's like the moment where things snap. It's not the moment where it's like everything went wrong, basically. So, like, at this time, like, I post a picture that I have with me, some friends, my fiance, Ethan and Hila Klein, and basically, I was like, yeah, I could post that. It's great. I didn't think it would be a statement. It was really stupid of me, because of course it's a statement. It's Ethan and Hila Klein. But I wasn't really ready for war. I wanted to back out. So, like,
You're just hanging out with them. Like, why? What does it matter? That doesn't matter.
Basically just went against them and said, you know what, I need to back out. I can't do this. This is too hot. And then everyone called me a pussy, which, I mean, to be fair, like, I kind of was. But also at the same time, I thought that my choice was understandable. Like, I had a family to take care of, Like, I didn't want this to become my life. The problem is, it wasn't that easy to get out.
It's just like watching this now, like maybe it's just me, maybe I'm like reading too deep into it, but it's like watching this with the understood context that he's a fucking abuser is like he'll do little things, he'll say things that he potentially did wrong, but then he'll like undercut a little bit and try to like add a justification to that action. That might be me reading too deep into it, but it's like those are like small things that I'm now picking up on that I wouldn't. You go into this video with a completely different lens, like without the context of him abusing his fucking girlfriend.
So yeah, you know, people are talking about it. I'm a hot topic. And
yeah, no shit, idiot.
Partner is freaking out because she's involved. You know, she's a part of the whole equation. And I start trying to, you know, say things to fix it. And when I try to help, it basically results in her screaming and crying that things are getting worse and that it's all my fault.
I think it's you that's doing that. I think it's you that's doing that. I don't even believe you. If you listen to the recording, she is like hardly yelling at you at all if you listen to the recording, and I highly doubt that might... Now, is there other instances in the relationship where maybe she could be screaming and yelling at you? Yes. But I'm inclined to believe that that's probably a form of reactive abuse. It's pretty fucking clear to me that you're the main aggressor in this story. It's very, very clear to me, just by the way you were talking to her. It's very fucking unhinged, dude.
So I'm trying to, you know, keep my job because I'm paying her a ridiculous amount of money, like $5,000 a month, to basically do nothing. And I'm gonna be
What?
honest with you guys. I don't have a problem with that. Like,
you clearly do. Otherwise, you wouldn't have mentioned it here. Now, when I first watched this, right? When I first watched this without the abuse context, I thought to myself, "Oh, that's shitty. If your partner is making you pay $5,000." Like, that seems like an element of toxicity. Like, you should fucking leave that person. That's what I thought at first. Little did I fucking know that this is probably not an accurate retelling of events. Like, you're probably... I don't even believe you, to be honest. Like, this just seems like a lie. You're just trying to find a way to pin the blame on her for your main aggressions here.
like paying her $5,000 a month so she could, you know, lay around, smoke weed on the couch and be happy. Great, you know? But, I don't think that she really respected me. I don't think she saw things in me that were, like, important for her to see. So...
Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Bro, every fucking time I do a video, I swear, at least one time in the video, I get tested on calling this, like, people slurs. I swear. Like, I get tested every fucking time, dude. This is insane. This is insane. You're saying that she doesn't respect you, but the only person who's making that assertion is you. Yeah, like, listen, if I had a partner that was an abusive piece of shit, I wouldn't fucking respect them. I wouldn't respect them either.
So, it went really bad. Like, as soon as the picture was posted, it became me panicking, trying to fix it, and her basically getting angry at me trying to fix it. I'd say that everything reached an apex when she recorded me in my house, yelling at her through the door. I was fucking pissed. I was just like mad because I'm trying to fucking figure everything out in like an impossible situation. You know, trying to get things back to normal so that like we can live a normal fucking life. And she repays me by recording me in my house without my knowledge. She sends it to my parents. She sends it to friends. She sends it to people who are associated with Hive Mind.
So now we know, like, listen, at first, because, like, the abuse audio, again, it hadn't leaked at this point, but now we know with this understood context that the abuse audio is what he's referring to, but he's not going to call it abuse audio. Probably, I wouldn't doubt that he probably doesn't see it that way. He probably, maybe he legitimately thinks that she's the abusive one. I don't fucking know. But either way, like, this guy is fucking unhinged.
Yeah.
This is an insane, like, revisionist history of what actually happened in the fucking relationship. Like, this is fucking diabolical.
And it's the biggest betrayal I've ever felt. I really like...
God. Like, watching this now, this guy might legitimately be a fucking narcissist. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, listen, I'm not a mental health expert. I can't officially diagnose him from the DSM-5 of what narcissism is, because that is a buzzword on the internet. People tend to just use it and not have any understanding of what the fuck they're talking about. But, like, this guy might legitimately be a fucking narcissist. Like, this is crazy.
I felt so violated. But, like, she couldn't hear that because she looked up that it was legal to do that, you know, to, like, record me in that state. And because it was legal, it was moral to do that, you know?
I don't even believe you when you say that. She probably recorded it because she wanted some evidence that you were being fucking abusive, which tends to happen a lot in abusive relationships, actually. It's very sad, but it's just what it is.
But, like, man. You know, like, at that point, I was done with her. Like, at that point, I was like, this is fucked up. Like, I'm doing everything I can in this situation to make things work. I love you, but we're not going to be a good match. So, yeah. I believe maybe like a week later, I was streaming.
So, 5 years later, you decided you weren't a good match, but you kept thinking you were, despite the abuse continuing? Was it because you couldn't control her anymore? Was that what it was?
When...
This is really fucked up watching again, like, within, like, in the context of what we know. Like, this is, like, we now understand that, like, Brad is just, like, doing a complete fucking revisionist history of what actually happened. This is fucking unhinged. No one could have possibly had any idea of the extent of the story watching this first and not the abuse audio.
I said...
Like, this entire video is just bullshit. It's just nothing but bullshit.
I remember I was, like, doing a stream, and then I left. I go to the kitchen. I see her sitting on the couch, like, screaming and crying, and I'm pissed off.
Yeah, I mean, I would too if you were fucking abusive. I'm pissed off, yeah. Well, that's probably you all the time in the fucking abusive relationship.
Like, because, like, I'm trying to focus, you know? To get work done. And it felt like she was interrupting that. Now, here's the thing. What I want you to understand out of all of this, and remember how I said that it was all like, you know, it wasn't just this scenario happening, that this was like a long-term effect? Well, I was so obsessed with my work. I became like completely locked into that, to the point of where she has told me that she felt completely invisible in the relationship. Yeah, my response to...
I mean, I probably believe that she does feel invisible because you don't seem to have any regard for her feelings whatsoever. Again, there is a massive difference between toxic and abusive relationships. Toxic relationships, like, you can still feel some level of empathy for your partner when you're in a toxic relationship. You can still feel some level of empathy. Abusive relationships, the abuser has no empathy whatsoever for their partner. They don't give a fuck about how they feel whatsoever. They completely disregard that in the most selfish ways possible.
Her crying was screaming at her, which was bad, but my justification was, I am streaming right now. I can't have you, like, screaming and crying, like, in the house. You know, I told her to go basically stay with her mother, who lived, like, 5 minutes away. Instead of doing that, she got me kicked. Okay, so I'm like, doing this thing where I'm like, you need to go to your mom's house. And she's like, you know, fuck you, this is my house too. And I'm like, I pay all the bills. This is all important. This is all important. Trust.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, Brad.
I pay the bills for this entire place. You know, like, I'm keeping it up. You don't contribute shit to the equation. Get out.
So, he's lying here. If you go back in the audio recording, the reason why she gets kicked out is because he's under this delusion that she made up this weird lie about something, and he's like, tell me the fucking truth or whatever, even though she wasn't lying about anything whatsoever. And, yeah, that's the reason why he kicked her out. The fucking bills thing, this whole bills thing, I don't know where this bills thing came from. That's just complete bullshit on his part. That's like, it completely doesn't even matter. He's just lying here.
She calls the cops on me, and they have me arrested.
No, you threatened to call the cops on her, and then you threatened to make up a bullshit story to the cops saying that she was emotionally abusive, even though that wasn't the case. Also, if she truly was emotionally abusive, how come we're not hearing that in this retelling of the story, huh? This seems like a very completely different story compared to what we heard in the audio. Very completely different story entirely.
For domestic violence. That is really where the story all starts.
Wait, what?
Me arrested for domestic violence. That
Yeah, good. Makes sense.
is really where the story all starts. Like, you know, I'm in a jail cell. This was like, literally, there's like a clip of me that's like me talking about how I don't feel safe in my home, and then like an hour later I'm in jail. You know? It's crazy.
This guy is probably, like, narcissistic. I'm not even kidding. This guy is, like, legitimately narcissistic. Because this is legitimately how people like that talk. Like, they don't see anything that they do wrong whatsoever.
And I don't want to fucking say any of this. I don't want to talk about this.
Listen, I've had my shitty moments in relationships too. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm far from a saint in like relationships. I like know what toxic relationships are like, and I'm probably, let's be real, I'm probably a big contributor to it. Like, let's be real. I'm probably one of the bigger contributors to it, and I'm trying to like work on that. You know, as days go on. You know, I feel like I've gotten a lot better at it. It's been plenty of years since then. It's been about like 3 years, so it's I feel like I've improved a lot since then. I feel like emotionally regulating myself has like gotten a lot better. But this is like this is unhinged behavior. This is fucking disgusting.
This makes me look bad.
No shit, it does.
But I'm also now realizing that I don't really care, because that's what happened. Those are, you know, that's what I did. These are the choices I made. Anyways, yeah, so once that happens, the relationship is over. I'm just like, yeah. So, you know, I move back home, and I go to rehab, because, like, something's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that you have been substance abusing a lot. Yeah, okay.
No? Like, all of this is
It's hard to know if this is even true, like, either. We don't even know if this part of the story is, like, true. We don't even know if he's actually in rehab. He's just saying it as part of the story, but, like, he's already capable of, like, reframing the narrative here. So it's hard to even take what he says, like, at face value here.
happening, and just I don't understand it. Rehab is okay, you know? I learned a few things. You know, like, in 5 months of being there, like, yeah, you know, there was stuff that was helpful, but... Man, I felt so betrayed. She basically took... It's like, she moved to Detroit. And here's kind of where it gets difficult for me, because it's one...
Oh, it's difficult for you, Brad. Really? It's difficult for you. You're the victim here. Oh, yeah, okay.
thing like losing your partner, it's another thing like with losing hive mind. Like, the fact that, like, these two things were so connected... I almost killed myself over it. Like... I had this, and I had pills. However, good news is this happened 3 months ago, and there's this much alcohol in the bottle. That means something went well. It means something's going right.
What? Feels like... Listen, again, without the context that he's abusive, this is just more, like... This is more manipulation. Like, there's no other interpretation from it.
Let's talk about Hive Mind.
Oh, boy.
Hive Mind is a collective of guys who I very much respect. But Riley's a diva.
Oh, I thought he was going to talk about, like, the concept of people who think like hive minds. I'm like, oh, God, I don't need to be lectured by you. But okay, it's not what he's talking about. All right.
And Graydon's a brute. Here's the thing, though. That just makes me like them more, because they're very human. In fact, I think that, like, their flaws are the things that really, you know, attracted me to them. You know, what really made me, like, interested in them as people. You know, what made me connect with them on, like, a much deeper level. So, you know, the fact that, like, my ex moves to Detroit, like, around all these, like, hive mind people, and then starts, like, dating Graydon's roommate.
Okay. Okay. So what if she dates other people? You guys aren't together anymore. Listen, I know how that feels when, like, you go through a breakup and then they start seeing someone else. Like, that shit fucking hurts. Don't get me wrong. It definitely hurts. But at the end of the day, like, you gotta, like, the only way, like, is to move forward. It does suck, but, like, what are you gonna do?
You know? And, like, Riley leaves me on red. And it's just like... Wow. I really love the people at Hive Mind still. Like, in case you don't know who Hive Mind is, I collaborated with them. They're like a pretty big channel. But just, they did to me what they did to Nick Is Not Green.
Wait, oh yeah, I forgot. Nick Is Not Green ties into this lore somehow.
I remember when I was there, and they were telling me the story.
For those of you that don't know, Nick is Not Green was like one of the big YouTubers behind like trying to cancel Super Mega, but then he like apologized for it, and he's like trying to turn a new leaf and stuff. Which I like Nick is Not Green. I think he deserves another chance, and I feel like he can move on from the whole Super Mega debacle.
Nick is Not Green, great friends, you know, he has his thing that happens, and bye-bye Nick is Not Green, no longer associated with the name.
Oh, yeah, because of the whole Super Mega situation that happened, yep.
Now, of course, at the time, I'm just thinking, like, oh, thank God I'm on the right side, you know, of this shit. But then I ended up on the other side of things. And I actually, well, I would say became friends with Nick is Not Green, but I honestly just, I think he sent me a message like 5 months ago that I never checked. So, even then, like, I'm not doing great with that. But, like, I got to see that perspective. You know, I got to see both sides. And, in my opinion, I don't give a shit. Whatever. Moving on. Let's talk about where things start getting good. Look at this picture right here, okay? Now, I'm going to explain this picture later, but this is a bee being, you know, that's dead. It's being carried by an ant. All right? I saw this with my own 2 eyes in nature. A bee being carried by an ant down a line. All right? Like, that was, you know, that's some life-changing stuff. It's weird. It's like, it's really symbolic to me. But, you know, maybe it's like, maybe I feel like it's a symbol of me somehow overcoming, you know, a lot of stuff that's been going on. It starts with 4 months ago when I decided to stop streaming and stop working. It basically came down to I can't do this anymore. I can't fucking do it anymore.
This guy is clearly not mentally well at all. This guy is clearly, like, mentally unstable in, like, every fucking capacity. This is insane.
Like, something is wrong. You know? So, so I'm, like, I don't really know what
I'm gonna speed this up further. I don't really think any of this matters that much.
is wrong. But I just feel like I shouldn't stream. So instead I start watching movies. And I kind of come to the idea that, like, I don't really know if I should work because I really don't want to. You know? So I just kind of keep sitting around all day watching movies. And then it's like the stuff with my ex, and then like with Hive Mind, and how that's all connected. You know, I can't get it out of my head. I fucking can't. It's like no matter what I do.
Yeah, he's the victim, guys. That's what he's like. That's the narrative he's trying to paint here. He's the victim here.
That's like my ex leaving to go and like be a part of Hive Mind and fuck Graydon's roommate, you know? Like,
I don't give a shit if she does. You're a fucking disgusting person, and you're an extremely abusive person. Like, she just realized what she was part of. Again, I understand there's a difference between toxic and abusive relationships. Those are two separate things entirely. But it's like, this was legitimately fucking abusive. Some of the shit you were saying to her was absolutely unhinged. Like, just to be clear, this is one of the very, very rare instances of someone coming forward with a story with legitimately hard evidence and it being correct. Just to be clear. Like, some of the shit you were saying was fucking unhinged. It was absolutely mental.
yeah, well, I wasn't taking it so well. So, just thinking every day how I was going to kill myself, and then eventually came up with drinking pills. Then my cousin came and visited, and everything changed. This was the moment where it all turned around. I'm driving with him. I live in Arizona. And so I'm driving with him in the car, and he is oohing and awing at the world around him, and I'm like, what are you even talking about? This is like this brown, dead, like, shitty spot. Like, how are you finding anything of beauty here? You know, and then we go upstate, and he's talking to my
That part I'd probably believe. You seem like a very fucking miserable person to be around in general.
dad. And he's, like, connecting with my dad in a way that I've never connected to my dad. And he's, like, very peppy and optimistic. And then I'm having dinner with him and my mom. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. I had to move back in with my parents. That was another big reason I wanted to kill myself. I went from, like, big shot to, you know, back to the place where I thought I was running from, where I thought that it was, like, this is where all the problems were. My cousin invites me to go to Switzerland and Egypt with him. And reluctantly, but quickly, I answer yes. Because I know how important this is, if this is, like, going to do what I think it is. And, I mean, I already wanted to die, so, like what is there to lose at this point, right? So, time comes, I leave the country. It's amazing. Switzerland is absolutely gorgeous. Being around people who don't speak the same language as you was really nice, because, like, I didn't feel anxious, as if, like, everybody was watching me, you know? Just, like, I always feel like I have to connect with people, you know? And when they're not speaking English, like, there's no chance for me to connect with them, because I was fucking lonely. I had no friends out here. I didn't know how to talk to people. Like, I literally felt like I couldn't get out of this, you know? And for a moment, I didn't have to. I could just be in it. I could just indulge in it. And it's that mindset that really got me, like, really far through this whole process. Yeah, I mean, I had fun with Switzerland and Egypt. There's not really much to say. I took a picture that's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. I'm waiting to write a song for it, you know, because I need to crop the image and add an explicit symbol on it, you know, because then it becomes the real deal. You'll see one day. I come back. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling all right. But I have a plan B in case that happens. And that's that I had a second vacation planned. The second trip was to Minnesota to basically sleep in a music studio with a bunch of people that Dylan, basically, he's friends with, and we're all going to stay in this music studio while Dylan records music. And, with doing this, I connected with people, and I found, like, a family.
Bro, I'm going to be absolutely so real with you. I don't know how much more of this we need to watch. Like, I tried to, like, get his side of the story, but, like, a lot of this just seems to be, like, a massive revisionist history of what occurred in the relationship. He's trying to make her seem like the problematic one and the awful one. And, like, listen, any behavior she exhibits to you is probably some form of reactive abuse. Like I said, I've been in toxic relationships before. I've been in very complicated situations before. And listen, I probably contributed it to some extent, right? Because I am a toxic person. I just am. Like, I'm a pretty toxic person to be around in general. So it's like, I probably did contribute to it to some extent. So, like, in a weird way, I don't want to say I see myself in Brad, because I don't. I'm not like this fucking piece of shit at all. It's more like, it's toxic and abusive relationships are different things, but it can be like a very tough, the lines can be very blurred. Like they're very, there's a lot of similarities between them, but they're very different. Like, neither of them are okay, but there's like levels of bad to everything, essentially. And so, like, if both people are engaging with it in some capacity, then I'm not saying that makes it okay, but, like, obviously abusive relationships are worse. So is there, like, anything else we need to listen to? I'm just going to skip ahead.
And hearing how it was making me feel and seeing his reaction, and just, like, it was amazing. It was just what I needed. So after that, I don't
even know what this has to do with Ethan Klein. Like, he talked about Ethan Klein, like, in the beginning for, like, 1 minute, and then he just made this about, like, some weird fucking story about himself. And I don't think we need to watch any more of this. Okay, so there's this re-upload on PreserveTube I found. This was, like, a day or two after he uploaded his video about his partner, Tina, his ex-partner at this point. His abuse survivor, we'll say, because they are survivors. She is a survivor of, like, his abusive behavior. So he deleted his video, he uploaded this, and then this video is also deleted, and then we have his response to all the abuse audios leaking. And so we're going to watch those, and we're just going to give our take as we go through it. Yeah.
Hi, so I released a video a few days ago, and it was something that was called SI, and it was supposed to be talking about my experience with, battling through all this mental health shit for the last year, and it was a fucking terrible idea. The video ended up being extremely exploitative of my ex, because I decided to, I was like, oh, so it's my ex-girlfriend, but, like, she's a real person, and there are real people being named in this video, and so the entire thing, comes off as an extreme violation of privacy. And I can completely understand why people are upset, because it is, honestly, I think one of the worst things possibly ever uploaded to the internet. I am fucking ashamed of it. I feel like I failed completely, like, as a person. And, like, this video just highlights also, like, all of her concerns, where she's saying that she's felt this pain, that she recognizes this exploitation and this feeling of being unsafe around someone like me with a platform. So I am going to disappear for a year. And see around this time next year if I'm ready to try again.
So again, going into this without the context of the abuse before, it, like, shows that, like, oh my god. It's like, you watch this video, right? I know the context. So, like, watching this video, I don't feel sorry for this piece of shit whatsoever. I don't feel sorry for him at all. Genuinely. But, like, before that context, you probably looked at this and was like, wait, this is not that deep at all. Like, you uploaded a video and now you're disappearing for an entire year? Like, what is going on? Like, even without the context, you can tell this guy has some mental health issues. And he definitely does have mental health issues, even, like, with the context. He, like, definitely does. And he needs to stay off the internet. He says he's going to disappear for a year. Spoiler alert, he doesn't do that. He just deletes this video and then uploads his response to the abuse allegations days later. He doesn't actually follow through with it. He doesn't follow through with anything he says, and the cycle repeats itself, as it does in many abusive relationships.
Because I'm clearly not ready for this, and I am rightfully being called out for honestly just terrible behavior, extremely irresponsible behavior. And I'd like to give just, I would like to just say sorry. Like, from the bottom of my heart, from everyone who supports me, it is just like, I'm fucking sorry. Like, this was disgusting. There's not a single fucking justification I have for this. This is the worst thing I've ever done on YouTube, and it will be like seen as that, and it should. And I hope that my ex is able to disconnect herself from this situation and move on and get help and support like she has been in the last few days, or at least like in terms of the support. But no, like, again,
I hope for that for her as well. I don't think you actually mean this genuinely. I don't think you're actually being genuine, like, when you say stuff like this, but I hope that she is able to move on from you, from the fucking terrible shit that you inflicted on her. This is fucking insane.
and I brought this shit back up, and it makes perfect sense why she's so upset and so hurt. But even then, it took me a couple of days for it to all click, because I was like, oh, what's so wrong with this video? I'm just talking about my own experience, but that's just the thing. It was all about me. It was selfish, and it turned into a complete disaster. And yeah, that's all I have to say, is that I'm going away for a year, and that's probably the minimum for something that's this big of a fuck up. So I'm sorry. Like, I let everybody down. Yeah, so, peace.
Alright. Well, spoiler alert, he doesn't follow through with that. Alright, we've got this final video that he uploaded. This is on PreserveTube again. This was the archive I was able to find of it because it's no longer on YouTube. I'm sure there's re-uploads of it on YouTube I found, but this was the only one I could find in good quality. So, I guess we're just going to stick with PreserveTube for the time being. This is about 11 minutes long, and we're going to put this, on 1.25 times speed. Whoa, okay, yeah. So yeah, at this point, the audio leaks, and, I'm pretty sure he knows that he fucked up and that he's screwed. This is his response to it, I suppose.
Let me start this very dramatic speech by saying that the last week or two, I haven't even been keeping track, the last week or two, it's really hurt a lot.
And he's laughing because he's clearly not mentally stable. The fact that he laughs throughout this response is very disturbing. The fact that he laughs just at all, it's just very disturbing behavior.
Really sucked, but I've also gained a lot of information. I've seen how people interact with me, who sticks around, who leaves, why that is, and I think that a lot of it makes more sense to me. But today, okay, I'm going to be bringing up, yes, I am talking about this, I'm going to be bringing up my ex-partner. But I want to make it very clear that everything I am about to say, I have zero intention of saying, or trying to victimize myself through what she has done.
Well, you victimized yourself in the first video and the other videos, so like I said, it's just, okay. You very clearly tried to do that in the first video, and you tried to have this, weird revisionist history of what happened because you're fucking delusional and you're manic as fuck.
I'm going to be accusing her of some pretty hefty things, but
those are two conflicting things at once. Oh, I'm not going to try to victimize myself, but I'm going to be accusing her of some very serious things. Okay, dude, yeah, so, which one is it? Are you a victim or are you not? What's the deal here?
But I want to show you that I have a pretty strong understanding.
I mean, you're not a victim. We know, with audio evidence that you're not a victim.
Understanding of the situation, and I truly do believe that, we are both victims in this situation.
No, I would say just her. I don't think you're a victim at all. It's very obvious to anyone who listens to that audio. Anyone with half a fucking brain, even a quarter of a fucking brain, would understand that you're not the victim in this situation. It would just be her.
Equally. And I've even talked with her.
You literally called her a bitch, and you literally were name-calling her, and you were threatening to call the police as a form of control to her, and you were trying to get her to leave her house and try to make her feel less than human. You are a terrible fucking person. You are a legitimately awful person.
About this before, victims of the age of the internet.
Listen, I understand that toxic relationships are a lot more complicated and a lot more nuanced, but that's not what this was. This was just, flat out abusive. Case fucking closed.
In a way, but I think that it's different than that. I think that there is just something fundamentally broken between me and her. No.
Probably just you. I wouldn't doubt that there is, a level of trauma bonding that both of you had. Mainly her. But, you're still, extraordinarily fucking unhinged.
I did not abuse my partner. I have never
You did.
even had a thought of harming her, once in my life. I've never put a finger near her.
Well, you very clearly did. You very obviously did. You were name calling her. And so, like, first of all, I think you're just lying here, straight up, because you're name calling her and you're threatening to call the police on her, and you have no regard for her emotional life whatsoever.
But also at the same time, everything she's saying, you know, about being extremely hurt and horrified, and you know, like not wanting to be around me, and you know how she truly believes that everything she's done is in self-defense. And what I'm here to say
It probably was. It was probably a form of reactive abuse.
is, I completely believe her. But I also think it's worth mentioning the things that she did in self-defense. And
God damn it. It's just like every single time. He did this in the first video as well, where he'll make a claim and then he'll like undercut a justification for it. It's just so fucking disgusting the way he like tries to justify his like abuse to her.
like why they would result in me losing it and screaming, you know?
Why they would do it. So the insinuation is that it's her fault still. He's still trying to make it seem like she's the bad person, that he's victimizing herself, which again completely contradicts what you said a minute ago. Not even a minute ago. You're contradicting your own narrative.
Well, first of all, let's talk about the main issue. Me yelling. Like, when I get very angry or even excited or just anything, like, I get very loud. Like, I use my voice and the volume of it to really express it. So, like, when I'm upset because of something, you know, and I start getting really loud about it, like, that basically was her biggest fear because she had trauma with yelling.
The fact that you knew that she had trauma from being yelled at makes this even worse. It makes it even fucking worse because now you have that knowledge. You should like learn to control your fucking anger better. You should be learning to improve yourself better, or at least making an effort of it. And yet you still continue to do it. You didn't seem like you were even trying to hold back. You were trying to be like, you should have at least like tried to be like cool about like whatever fight you were having. It didn't even seem like you were trying to make that fucking effort. The fact that you knew that she had that trauma and still yelled makes this even worse.
Let me make sure I get all the details right. This is kind of complicated. So basically,
I don't care if you do get the details right. We know enough. I don't care if you do or you don't. Like, you're obviously gonna lie your ass off. You've already lied previously, and you've already lied in your first video. It's just you're like, I just don't care. I don't have any regard, or I don't have any level of empathy for you.
for me though, like my family, everyone I've been around my whole life is loud. They talk over each other, they yell at each other.
I don't give a shit. That's not an excuse for your fucking disgusting actions. I don't care.
But they never mean anything bad by it, so I never really saw anything wrong with it. They're just trying to be heard and get their point across and, you know, show their emotions. And so that's like me when I'm yelling. And
You literally threatened her, and you were name-calling her. And you threatened to, like, literally fucking call the police and say that she was being emotionally abusive. And you tried to have this, like, revisionist history. You're just lying here. It's just, like, lie after lie after lie in these fucking responses.
And so the problem is Tina, I guess I'm just saying her name, sure, Tina. Tina rightfully, like, gets scared of that, is horrified. What I'm trying to say by this situation is a matter of a bad match, because we, like, worked perfectly with everything, but it
Well,
really...
you tried to justify it by saying it was a good match for 5 years, and there was probably some level of trauma bonding. Who fucking knows how long this was going on for? If you guys were together for 5 years, who fucking knows how long she must have endured that from you? If that's just a snippet of those 5 years, who fucking knows?
was me yelling. And again, I would basically yell because, you know, just like out of instinct of trying to get a point across, or even sometimes just tell a joke. And the way that she would handle it is she would feel hurt and scared. And this just
Yeah, I don't blame her for feeling, like, hurt and scared by it at all. I don't fucking blame her.
kept happening over and over again, where I didn't mean to scare her.
You were. You definitely were.
You know, she got scared. She starts acting very nervous, and then I'm like questioning why she is. And then
The first thing you should be doing is trying to comfort her. That's what I would have done anyways. Like, if I'm, like, pissed off and I, like, yell by, like, for whatever the context is, if it's, like, a large fight that we're having and, like, she, like, feels, like, scared or upset, then the first thing I would do is try to comfort her and stop yelling. If they're, like, crying or whatever, then, like, you gotta... I don't know, man. It's just, like, there's, like, a million things that there's a million things you could have said to it, and this is the first one you're saying, is my point.
That's when, like, I would start yelling, and then I'd see how upset she was. I was like, holy shit, wait, no, this is not what was supposed to, like, I was just trying to, get my point across. And that would basically be like a very scary memory, being built. And that would happen over and over and over again, to the point of where she started to fear me. And this is what I mean when I say that, like, everything she did is in self-defense. I am accusing my partner of blackmail, and I'm
Blackmail. Oh boy.
accusing my partner of gaslighting.
I don't care. I already don't believe you. I already don't believe you of any of these things. There was no way, to my knowledge, like, based on the recording we heard, the only one that was gaslighting was you. So, like, I already just don't believe your narrative.
And again, it's weird because I understand what she means when she says it's in self-defense, and I don't think that this is a universal situation. I don't think this is something that represents her character. I believe this is something that was developed specifically for this relationship, so that she can protect herself from me. And what she would do is basically tell me, like, when I'm yelling, because she's not listening to the words I'm saying while I'm yelling, because she's terrified when I'm, like, loud, and she gets scared because she's afraid I'm gonna yell. So
that's already a red flag. If she's already terrified that you're gonna yell, that's already a red flag that, like, something is wrong. This is not fucking normal.
She tells me that I'm not living in reality. And the reason I'm really bringing this up is because, like, this event that just happened really woke me up to the fact that, like, she would basically say, you're not living in reality, and I would agree with her, and just, like, try to, like, because I loved her. I wanted to make it work, so I would just, like, listen to what she says about me. And then just, even if I was hurt, I couldn't yell because, like, it was after I had already yelled that she'd say that, so it was better to just accept it. So I was constantly being gaslit all the time. And I'm pretty sure that my partner also felt like she was being gaslit all the time. Because, again, we just were not a good match. Fundamentally, we were a bad match. We had a lot of stuff in common, but this one aspect, like, basically, again, like, resulted in 5 years of gaslighting, and, like, I went fucking insane. Like,
5 years of her gaslighting, by the way. She's the gaslighter, right? Yeah, she is the gaslighter. And yeah, earlier in this video, I'm not trying to victimize myself. Oh, but she's the gaslighter. Oh, but I'm not trying to victimize herself. So, which one are you doing here, Brad? Because clearly, your narrative's not working out for you.
Completely insane. Like, just the feeling that, like, no one's listening to me, no one understands me, and once again, a lot of that's the fact that I'm yelling.
Good. I hope no one ever tries to understand you. You're a fucking terrible human. That's, like, all you need to know.
And I have a partner who can't listen to me while I'm yelling there. And, like, yelling is how I get, like, naturally my emotions across, so much of me is being missed.
Then don't be in a fucking relationship. Like, go to fucking therapy and work it out or something. Like, get some fucking help and don't, like, just leave, dude. What are you doing?
And then again, it's like, I feel so slighted that, like, I don't give a shit, what she's talking about, because she just basically told me I'm not living in reality. I'm offended,
You're definitely not living in reality.
Anyways, blackmail. So, blackmail is...
Damn, black males. Was she getting banged by a black male right in front of you? Did you get cucked or something? Sorry, that was an inappropriate joke. I probably shouldn't be making jokes about this. This is, like, very, very serious.
Maybe the most painful thing I've ever gone through in my life.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? It is that, isn't it? He got cucked so hard. Okay, I gotta chill.
Being recorded, like, without my knowledge, like, having a partner constantly remind me that, you know what, let's take a break. And, okay.
Well, she recorded because of how abusive you were.
Let me finish my sentence. Wait, what was I talking about? Anyways, let's take a break and talk about her concerns. Once again, like, I think that she had every right to feel the way that she did. I think that the way she handled it was really sad and misrepresentative of who I am as a person. That's why I even brought it up in the first place, because I felt so deeply betrayed. Because, again, I've never had any meaning. Like, I've never wanted to do anything wrong to this person. Like, I still think about her. I still care about her. And, like, yeah, no, my last video was, like, vicious and stupid, but also at the same time, it was me just, like, finally saying...
No, your last video was you trying to reframe the entire fucking narrative of what happened. It's insane. Like, no, you were the main aggressor in this fucking story entirely. Like, it was just a whole revisionist history. I didn't even finish the entire video because I didn't need to. You were, like, trying to reframe the whole fucking narrative, and you just lied after lie after lie throughout the entire fucking thing. That recording was unhinged. There's no way I could ever listen to that recording again. You're a terrible person. You're terrible, dude.
Oh, I'm just gonna, like, talk and say whatever. And it turned out this is, like, I don't know, maybe the most important experience of my career so far.
You need to get off. You shouldn't even have your career. You need to get off. Like, listen, I am not really for canceling people, generally speaking. I think canceling people is bad, but, like, if this happened to this guy, I think it would be completely fucking justified. Like, genuinely. Like, I legitimately think if this guy, like, got off the internet and, like, lost his career, I wouldn't, like, mourn him at all. Like, this is unhinged shit.
Yeah, so why is it that she's gaslighting me? Why is it that she's... Okay, wait. That's right. I was explaining basically blackmail. So blackmail is basically like somebody holding you by a chain at all times.
Yeah, you're the one that gave her that blackmail. Essentially, what he's about to go into here is he's going to talk about how, like, oh, she has this recording as blackmail against me. You gave her that blackmail. You enacted that blackmail yourself. You enacted that abuse. And this apparently this has been going on for 5 years, so... Okay, you're the one that the only person at fault here is you, Brad.
Especially the person who I like cared the most about. Her holding the fact that she has stuff that she can like destroy my life with over my head is crazy. And the fact that look,
yeah, that's only your fault, dude.
It's like I released the video, you know, and video was not the cleanest thing in the world, but like her first immediate response was the same thing I've been saying. She'll just like say it's self-defense and then, you know, spread all this stuff that feels like, again, that like the video I talked about, you know, the video is me screaming because I'm being gaslit, because I'm not being listened to, because I'm yelling. And once again, she can't hear a word I'm saying. She just hears yelling. She records it. She shows it to the cops, tells them how dangerous I am. They arrest.
Well, you are dangerous. The fact that the cops arrested you because they found you dangerous, which doesn't happen a lot, by the way. Like, typically in a lot of he said, she said situations, the cops typically can't really do much. But the fact that they found enough to put you under arrest, that says something. That actually tells us a lot.
Me, and it feels like the biggest fucking betrayal of my life. That's why I brought it up, because like, yeah, that made me
yeah, you're such a victim. By the way, guys, I'm not trying to victimize myself in this video. I'm not trying to do that at all. But this is a betrayal. Yeah, okay, dude, you know,
want to kill myself. But once
God, Jesus fucking Christ, every time he says that, that's just like, that feels manipulative. Like, that is like extremely manipulative, where he's saying, like, I just want to kill myself. I'm going to fucking kill myself or whatever. This is fucking crazy.
Again, like, she truly believed she was in that much danger. And I think that she's completely valid for that, and that she's allowed to feel however she feels about the situation. She made a statement. I wanted to say something because I really just figured it out. That, like, oh, yeah, that's right. Like, you know, I have been behaving a totally different way for so long. You know, once I thought that I lost my YouTube channel, I really went into a deep depression. Like, ask anyone. But like the thing is that really made me make this video is that it just kept getting worse, and like in really weird and interesting ways, where people are like really showing their character around me, and I'm just like, huh, you know, and I'm absolutely hurt by it. But all I have left right now are people who I could spend a whole day talking to. Which, you know what?
Oh, was the video buffering? God damn it.
I'll take that. And by the way, entire internet for believing everything you read at face value. Just know I don't blame you, all right? Because I would do the same, and that's just literally this culture, all right? So, you know, this is me literally saying we are both victims of each other.
God. I fucking can't with this guy. Listen, I understand a lot of people come out with a bunch of sensationalized or false allegations on the internet, but this is not one of those scenarios. This is very clearly not one of those scenarios at all.
You know, and that the relationship, like, dissolved in a way that I thought felt extremely unfair, but I can see, like, why she was as terrified as she was. But the reality...
So can I. Don't worry. I can see why, too.
...is, once again, like, this is not a problem around people who are like me. It just happens to be the circle I have. Yeah.
It's not my fault, guys. It's not my fault. This whole situation, this is not my fault at all. It's never my fault. He's like he's literally trying to make it seem like it's not his fault in this in this fucking response. I hope we understand that.
You know, all the people who are around me who are just like tuned differently. You know what I mean? And I did hurt them, but like once again, I didn't mean to hurt anybody.
Yes, you did. You literally were threatening her and saying that you were going to tell the cops that she was, like, emotionally abusive and, like, try to make up a story. You obviously were trying to hurt and control her to some extent, and you were name-calling the fuck out of her. You had no regard for her boundaries, and the fact that you can just sit here and smile and try to justify after justify and lie after lie is just fucking disgusting. You're a fucking gross human being. You're terrible. And the fact that people listen to toxic allegations or like allegations that are sensationalized much more than situations like this, where a lot of times allegations like this get fucking silenced out by all the garbage on the internet, is frustrating to me. That's really frustrating. There's a lot of garbage allegations on the internet that are just nothing. But then when something actually terrible happens, there just doesn't seem to be enough eyes on it, I've noticed. It's fucking crazy. Maybe that's just like, maybe I'm not looking in any of the right places. Maybe there are more eyes on this than I'm looking. So maybe that's just a me thing. It's possibly just a me thing, but like, that's just what I've noticed.
So like, it really isn't, not my fault as much as it is, like, I don't know, whatever. Hopefully this clears it up, but knowing the internet probably won't, and I don't really care. Sorry for not keeping up with the 2-year rule, but I don't know, maybe I just was like I guess I could have waited a little longer. I'm probably still taking a break, but I'm making music. Like,
no, don't ever come back, dude. Don't ever come back. I don't think people would be happy to see you after this fucking resurfaced.
All day. Like, I'm just in the studio, dude, creating crazy stuff. Listen to this, all right? All right, I gotta click this. Video unavailable. Oh, guess you'll have to wait till next time. Peace.
Okay. Well, then he, like, I think, like, after he uploads, like, his music thingy, and it's, not really worth listening to. I don't think it's, like, worth, talking about in this story, so, yeah, that was a situation. Very gross, vile, disgusting situation. Like I said, there's a difference between toxic and abusive relationships. Toxic relationships are a lot more complicated. There's a lot more underneath the surface, and there's a lot of more context that needs to be present, but that's very obviously not what this was. This was a pretty cut and dry case of someone being verbally and emotionally abusive to their partner for apparently 5 years. So, very vile, despicable behavior.